and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is HD3, and welcome to the third HD3 versus episode. Today's topic of discussion is hardcore mode versus core mode within Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and we may be bringing some Modern Warfare 3 into this, I don't know. But, yeah, without further ado, we're just going to get on with this. So, I got 5 pros and 5 cons for both hardcore mode and core mode. We're just going to talk about the pros, like we'll list off every single pro, and then we'll talk about each one individually, and then we'll move on to the next section. So you guys should be caught up now, so let's get started. So first pro to hardcore mode is that it's more realistic. And the second pro to hardcore mode is that it has limited health. This one can be a pro or con depending on your personal preference. Third pro is also a pro or con depending on your personal preference. Less heads-up display. The fourth pro is spy plane is actually useful. And the fifth and final pro for hardcore mode is that there's no need for suppressor or ghost or counter UAV. Now, I'm going to talk about each one individually now. So more realistic. I find this more realistic because, like what I said, the number 2 pro is that it's limited health. It's more realistic because it takes less bullets to kill a guy in hardcore mode than it is in core mode. And it just makes it more realistic. So you don't have to put 15 bullets into a guy just to kill him and not an entire squad. So it's more realistic in that sense. And you can also save ammo in this game mode, just because since you're using less bullets to kill a guy, you save ammo if you have a controlled trigger finger, or if you're using a burst fire weapon. Well, you still need a controlled trigger finger for burst fire weapons, but it's also a con because you have limited health and you can die yourself. You can easily die if someone catches you before you catch them. So, in that sense, it's also a con. The third one, the less heads-up display. This is a pro for me because less heads-up display means that, I have less distractions on my screen. I only have to focus on my surroundings and having faster reactions than this guy above me or in front of me or behind me. So, for me, it's a pro, but for some of you, it's probably a con. It's also a con for me as well, just because in hardcore mode, you can't really tell how much ammo you have left. So, for me, that's also a con. The fourth pro, spy plane, is actually useful. In core mode, the minimap is always on. In hardcore, it's not always on. So when you get a spy plane, it's very useful because you can see where everyone is instead of playing it by sound and by quick reaction times. So spy plane is like having an orbital VSAT in the air, except it can be shot down and you only see a dot. You don't see where they're moving to. And then the final pro, no need for suppressor, ghost, or counter UAV. The reason why I say there's no need for suppressor, ghost, or counter UAV, there's no need for suppressor just because since there is no minimap, you don't need to waste a weapon slot on that. You can use something else in your pick 10 instead of a suppressor. And there's no need for ghost or counter UAV, just because with ghost, whenever a spy plane is in the air, it usually gets shot down within 10 seconds. So you'd only be using ghost for a short amount of time. And counter UAV, like I said, it would only be up for, I don't know how long it'd be up. But even when they don't have their minimap up and it's pointless for them, people will still shoot it down, so it's worthless to have it up. Now, moving on to the cons of hardcore, we're just going to name all of them and then talk about them individually. So, the first con to hardcore, there's not a lot of game modes in the playlist. Second con is that overpowered guns are even more overpowered in hardcore mode. The third con is that there's team killing. The fourth con, you get kicked off the game after 3 team kills, even if they were by accident. And the fifth and final con for hardcore mode is that there's no Nuketown 2025, or at least from what I've seen. So Not a lot of game modes in this playlist. This one is pretty easy to talk about. You only get 4 game modes that you can play. You can play Hardcore Team Deathmatch, Hardcore Search and Destroy, Hardcore Capture the Flag, or Hardcore Kill Confirm. Those are the only things you can play in Hardcore, unless you make a custom game. But you can't play anything else besides that on a public match, which is really sad for me, because I would like to see like Domination or Demolition or anything else integrated into Hardcore, because there are still a lot of people that play Hardcore mode. For me, I play Hardcore, and I know he's not that famous, but you guys may know him, Judgment Awaits. He's a Christian YouTuber, and he does a lot of hardcore gameplay. He's pretty much the reason why I started doing hardcore mode in Black Ops 2, and I thank him for that. And yeah, I really wish Treyarch would add more game modes to hardcore mode. The second one, overpowered guns are even more overpowered. This one follows in with the limited health. I believe you only get 30% health in hardcore mode. So, like, for example, in core mode, the assault shield is 2 hits in core to kill a guy. You have to bash him twice to kill him. In hardcore, it is always a one-shot kill. So for me, that's like, if I'm using it, it can be a pro or it could be a con. The Peacekeeper is awesome in hardcore, just saying. The third con to hardcore, team killing. Sometimes this can be by accident or on purpose. Sometimes I kill my teammates on purpose, like yesterday I was playing in a match and this guy wouldn't stop flashbanging me and corner trapping me, so whenever he did that I would just kill him and move on. But yes, team killing, it's a con and a pro at the same time. It's pro because it makes the game more realistic. Like with Modern Warfare 3, you have ricochet, so if you start shooting your teammate, the bullets ricochet off him and kill you, which is unrealistic, because in real life, let's face it, if you shot a guy in real life, who would actually die? Would you die, or would the bullet ricochet off him and kill you? I like that Treyarch made it more realistic in that sense. The fourth con, kicked after 3 team kills, is pretty sad, because sometimes these could be accidents. Like for noobs, they don't know what to do. So it's pretty sad for that, but I could see why Treyarch would do this. It's logical. And then the final one, the final con, no Nuketown. Now, yesterday. If you guys are watching this on Thursday, yesterday on Xbox Live, Treyarch came out with a new update with microtransactions. So, they also added Nuketown 2025, so anyone can purchase it for free. And yeah, it's a little confusing. I don't know whether they'll take the bonus thing off or not, but I really would like it if they took that thing off and they just put Nuketown on every playlist. It'd be nice. So, got through the pros and cons of hardcore. Let's go to the pros and cons of core mode. So the first pro to core mode is that there are more game modes. Second pro is that you get healed after being shot. Sorry, I had to burp. Third pro is the heads-up display. The fourth pro, there's no team killing. And the fifth pro, there's Nuketown. So, more game modes. Don't really have to say much about this. You guys already know that every single game mode is in core mode. So, I don't really have to explain it that much. Healing after being shot. I don't like this, but it is a pro. Just because, well, getting healed after being shot, which means you could stay alive longer. So, that is a pro. The heads-up display, I know I said I didn't like it. The one thing that made this a pro is that you can see how much ammo you have left. That's the one reason why I put the heads-up display as a pro. No team killing, I don't like it, but it is a pro just because you don't have to team kill. But it's also a con, because if your teammate corner traps you, you're screwed. So, yeah, that one's a pro or con, depending on your preference. And then the Nuketown 2025 is self-explanatory. You get to play Nuketown 2025 in core mode. And, yeah, I don't have to explain that much. Now let's move on to the cons of core mode. First con is that it's not realistic. Second con, it takes more bullets to kill a guy. Third con, you actually need a suppressor to stay off the minimap. Fourth con, it's not a one-shot kill to the head with some weapons. And the fifth and final con, the Peacekeeper is not overpowered in core mode. So let's talk about the first con. It's not realistic. Like I said, core mode is not that realistic with the heads-up display, and with the second con, more bullets to kill. That's not that realistic unless the guy is like, I don't know, overpowered. I don't know how to explain that. Need a suppressor to stay off the minimap, which I actually hate because I don't want to waste pick 10 slots on a suppressor. It just ruins the whole experience for me. Not one-shot kill to the head. I actually experimented with this. I had a guy who was AFK in core mode and a guy who was AFK in hardcore. I was using the Peacekeeper. It's not a one-shot kill in core mode with some weapons, not all weapons, but with the Peacekeeper, it's not a one-shot kill to the head. It took me like 3 shots to the head to kill the guy, and then when I switched over to the AFK guy in hardcore mode, it was a one-shot kill to the head, and I believe it's a one-shot kill with any gun in hardcore mode, and the guy is dead, which makes it more realistic, because in real life, who would survive 5 bullets, 4 bullets, even 3 bullets, even 1 bullet to the head? So, and then the final con for me, the Peacekeeper is not overpowered in core mode. Like I said earlier, the Peacekeeper is a freaking boss in hardcore mode, is my go-to weapon in hardcore. But in core mode, like, I could own hardcore mode with my Peacekeeper. I could just own people in hardcore mode with my Peacekeeper, but when I switch over to core mode, it just sucks. It takes more bullets to kill, and even though it's dead accurate, I just can't kill that many people with it. So for me, that's a major con. But for me, my personal preference between hardcore mode and core mode is probably hardcore, just because it's more realistic and I'm better at hardcore than I am in core. If you're a noob, I would suggest going core mode, unless you played previous Call of Duties and you know how to play hardcore mode. But for a veteran, say you like core mode, sorry, I just can't speak today. Say you like core mode, I would definitely say give hardcore a chance, because if you can dominate in core very easily, you can probably dominate in hardcore like I can dominate in hardcore very easily. So anyways, guys, that's it. Those are my personal preferences. If you have your own personal preference, I would love to hear it in the comment section below. And what should I do for the next HD3 versus? I will do anything but verse consoles, because I am not up for that console war thing. I just really hate console wars. But anyways, that's it. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on Saturday for Saturday Morning Sharpshooter. This is your boy HD3, and I'm out.